So what's the difference between a wise guy bettor, a pro bettor, and a casual bettor? I want to talk about the habits that you can build as a casual bettor, as a recreational bettor, that will help you bet like a wise guy. Pros versus Joes. Let's talk about it right here on WagerTalk TV. I'm Ted Savransky. Teddy covers. Teddy_covers on X. And of course, I work for WagerTalk.com. Today, we're going to talk pros versus Joes, the difference between wise guy bettors and recreational bettors. And in general, not always, there are things that recreational bettors have positive things they do, and wise guys sometimes have leaks. But in general, you want to be betting like a pro as opposed to like a Joe. So let's start with the most simple concept of all. Pros bet numbers, Joes bet teams. Joe says, I want the Lions this week. Doesn't matter what the Lions are priced at. The pro says, I want the Lions at -6.5, but if it gets to 7, I'm off. That, to me, is a huge difference, and it makes all the difference between winning and losing. When you fall in love with a team, not a price for that team, you can find scenarios in which you get overpriced on the same squad. And as a team builds a betting bandwagon, yeah, you might have won with them once, but it's hard to win with them again and again. Pros are just looking at price. Look, the Lions are 6.5, I like them. That's 7, that's no longer a bet. And that attention to detail when it comes to value makes a huge difference long term between profitability and action. Another major difference between pros and Joes, in general, pros are going to straight bet, very comfortable, bet risking 11 to win 10. Joes like the parlays. And I understand everyone wants to bet a little to win a lot. But the reason everyone wants to bet a little to win a lot is because you're trying to make a score to nothing. Wise guys are very comfortable. Sometimes you see wise guys lay -1,000 on a money line. You know, lay 1,000 to win 100. They're comfortable betting a lot to win a little in positive expectation scenarios. The Joes' need for a big score hurts them when it comes to positive expectation betting strategies. Don't worry about parlays. Worry about straight bets if you want to bet like a pro. When it comes to future book bets, it's definitely worth noting. Joe's going to come to the casino and go, oh, it's August. Let's bet on a team to win the Super Bowl right now. All right, I can find whoever, 15 to 1. Great bet. That was what I would call the lazy way for betting futures. Pros aren't going to make a bet in August that they can make in December at the same price. And when you talk about how they're going to do it, it's a scenario where you can bet on a team on the money line throughout their playoff run. So you're not taking one bet to win 15 to 1. You're going to bet this week and then carry it over to next week and then carry it over to the week after and ride them throughout their playoff run. You end up with oftentimes twice the return on investment. So pros are going to bet the labor-intensive way. Joes bet the lazy way. Oh, I'll hit the future book, and that'll solve the problem. That's why pros get a better return on their investment than Joes do. This is simple. Pros bet sober. Joes are very comfortable. You know, betting is a drinking game. Hey, let's have fun. Oh, let's bet. Drink a bet. You know, I understand. If you want bets for recreation, if this is a recreational thing for you, sure, you can drink, have fun, whatever. Bet small. But if you're serious about making money, you cannot be drinking, smoking, whatever it is you like to do. Bet sober. That's something that professionals do pretty well exclusively. The guys that don't bet sober aren't pros for that long. And that's plain and simple. Pros bet with a goal of winning. The goal is, I'm going to make a profit this bet. I'm going to make a profit this month. I'm going to make a profit this year. Joes, the attitude is, I'm not going to lose. Let's not lose. Let's break even. Let's stay in action. And I get it. You want to stay in action. If you're not in action, you're not betting anymore, and then you have no chance to hit a big score. But pros, the goal is winning. Joes, the goal is more bets, stay in action. And I think that's very real. So if you want to bet more like a pro, not about being in action, about finding and making positive expectation bets. This is a big one. Pros keep their bet sizes steady. It's not like every bet is the exact same amount. There are times, there are scenarios where this is a really good bet, we're going to bet more. Or this is a little bit less of a good bet, we'll have a little action here, but not as big a bet. But the unit range, 1 to 3, 1 to 4. When you're talking about many Joes, the bet sizes vary dramatically. You know, so a big bet's 10 units from a small bet, or 20 units from a small bet. In general, positive expectation bet, make a bet. But don't adjust those bet sizes way up and way down. You want to keep those bet sizes in a relatively narrow range. Yes, you step up for your bigger bet, for your stronger bets, and you're allowed to have action wagers, but you don't want that spread to be enormous, where if you lose one big bet, it'll take you 20 or 30 smaller bets to win it back. So bet sizing is a big difference between pros and Joes. Another huge one. Joes are going to bet at whatever book they have open. All right, 1 book, 2 books. It's not about making you invest a number. It's about where do I have money and what accounts do I have money in. I moved to Las Vegas, so I would have access to every sports book in town. You know, every sports book in the state of Nevada. That's why I moved out here. Many of the guys that I know here in Las Vegas moved here for that exact same reason. So Joes are going to bet at 1 or 2 books. Pros know you got to open accounts at every legal book in your state. And then make sure those accounts are funded. So saying, oh, this is my favorite book. Ask me, what's my favorite book? Yeah, I love the Westgate. Sure, I love the Circa. I love the South Point. No, but my favorite book for any given day? Where am I getting the best of the number? Oh, it's -3, -3, -3, -2.5. My favorite book today is where I'm laying 2.5. So that's clearly a big piece of the equation. So pros are going to bet at every book that's legal in their state. Joes, if you want to bet like a pro, open more accounts, even if you have to do it for less money. You know, instead of having 1 account for $500, open 5 accounts for $100. At least in this bettor's opinion. Last but not least, and this, you know, there's more than last but not least. I got so many of these. But let's start with this. Pros bet where they have an edge, and they bet what they know. Joes will bet anything. You know, I mean, you know, these guys they'll bet on 2 cockroaches racing. It doesn't matter. Bet what you know. If you're betting for action, that's not a realistic way of betting like a pro. So if you're betting for action, for God's sake, keep those unit sizes small, but bet what you know and avoid what you don't. Last but not least, this is the last one, I promise. I won't go on indefinitely. And of course, if you like these videos, we really appreciate the likes, we appreciate the follows, we appreciate the comments. Subscribe to WagerTalk TV and get instant alerts every time these videos go live. And we put out a ton of free content every single day. So we really appreciate your support. Thank you for watching our videos. Of course, you can follow me at WagerTalk.com. You can find me at WagerTalk.com. You can follow me on X at Teddy_covers. And of course, my homepage, WT.buzz/TC. Last but not least, pros versus Joes. The pros bet throughout the course of the week. They might bet 1 game on Sunday night, another one on Monday morning, 2 more on Tuesday afternoon. This line's moving on Wednesday. We better get down on it now. Thursday, we're going down here. Friday, oh, wow, the public's getting involved. Now we can start betting on the other side of some of these contests. They're betting all week long. Oh, it's an hour before tip-off? Boom, let's load up and bet against the public on some of these concepts. So the pros are betting literally from the open to the close. When do Joes bet? Oh, you wake up Sunday morning, oh, who's playing today? You know, I mean, it's really hard to win when you're putting your entire betting window into an hour or 2 before kickoff or first pitch or, you know, or kickoff or whatever it is. If you look and handicap and bet throughout the course of the week like a pro does, you're well on your way to moving past Joe status. I hope this makes sense. I hope you like this video. And thanks for watching WagerTalk TV. Again, the comments below, I'll do my best to get involved and answer as many questions as I can. Best of luck with all your bets this season and beyond. Have a great day.